Why don't you explain to everybody this plan that this big master plan of yours?
All right. So the master plan is that he's made such amazing gains in terms of his physique that I've talked him into doing a show. So he's going to be competing. So it's going to be in August. We're going to be announcing the whole thing, and it's going to be here in Sacramento. And he's going to be getting oiled up, shaved up, going from doing powerlifting to an actual bodybuilding competition. So we're gonna, as we get him dialed in and everything else, talk a little bit more about the whole process. So the key is to get him back into what he knows about bodybuilding, which is we're gonna take him way back. We're gonna start back in the 80s. And then we're gonna work our way back, up to the modern day. Right. So, get the hip, the fanny pack out and get your baggies out.
That's right, get out those old baggy shirts. That's the plan. He called me out on the podcast, so now we gotta go through it. I look forward to the challenge. Let's see what the fuck can happen here, right?
And I want to kind of see how you normally do it. Okay. So if you can just take a lightweight maybe and just go through the rep, and then I can just kind of change technique so that way you guys can take what we're doing and utilize it like homework.
This angle okay?
Yeah, it's perfect. So show me how you do a regular press.
A lot of times when I'm doing like incline or flat dumbbell, a lot of times I like to keep them like this.
Okay.
And I usually kind of press them in here.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to get you to do a traditional press, bodybuilding style. Okay. And then go ahead and go down and go out a little bit.
It's a little harder for me to elbow out just because of shoulders, but I can get used to it.
Yep. And then try to get used to that if you can.
Yep.
And we would be running 3 to 4 sets. So when I say you're going to do an incline press, this is what I expect as an incline press. Yeah. So as you're videoing this and you can go back and look at it again, you can turn around and say, okay, when Hany says incline press, this is what I consider a dumbbell incline press. Gotcha. Then when I say incline power press, then what we're going to do is we're going to go into a power grip there, and then you're going to keep it in, and then chin up, and you're going to go down. There, and then you're going to go up, right to there. There you go. And the reason why we don't want to go all the way out is because we want constant tension on the chest.
And are we squeezing the dumbbells together, kind of?
Yeah, a little bit, just enough to stabilize it. You're not really trying to do it to get a contraction. You're just doing it to stabilize. And then what you want to do is you want to push. And then the elbows can come down a little bit, and bring your shoulders back, and push with your chest. Oh, boom, like that. Keep this forward. There you go. You feel that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That feels amazing.
Yeah, keep going. And then go straight up right this way.
I think we need a 12.5 pound dumbbell.
Good. Keep going. Good. This is much more than what Bradley Martin does. Good. Good. Don't forget to breathe. Okay. That's another thing that a lot of powerlifters do that we don't like in bodybuilding is you don't hold your breath because you're trying to feed the muscle, and the muscle needs oxygen. Keep going. There you go. One more. Good job. That's it. Yeah. So you don't want to have too much rest because you don't want to lose the pump. So the bigger body parts that we take a little bit more time on would be legs. Like if we were training legs, I'll sometimes have my athletes run 20 reps on squats, and then they're using 1 to 2 minutes of rest instead of 30 to 45 seconds like they would on arms or on shoulders.
In general, do you think it's a bad idea to try to get a pump in too many different spots?
Yeah, I think that if you're trying to do too many things, it's almost like trying to work your chest, your back, your shoulders, all in the same workout. So what I like to do is I like to do an FST7 set per body part, but not usually too many sets of FST7. So FST7, so if you're doing chest and triceps, you can do one FST7 set for your chest and one for your tricep. If you're doing arms, you can do it for both bicep and tricep.
Two body parts per day or something like that.
Exactly.
Not much more.
Usually 2 body parts per day, and usually about 4 to 5 exercises per body part. And the other sets that the non-FST7 sets are very similar to the HIIT style training, the Menser. You're trying to do 2 working sets, and you're trying to make sure that you're doing 8 to 12, 8 to 10 reps, and you're working on the strength with those sets. And then you're working on the volume that's going to kick off all of that fascia expansion, which is also going to help trigger your natural insulin. You're going to reduce insulin resistance, and you're going to also increase IGF-1 levels, and you're going to increase your test levels and your GH levels, because high volume training helps with that cascade effect.
Right. Yeah, especially with the low rest period too,
Exactly.
right? Yeah.
Exactly. So whether it's German volume training, whether it's FST7 training, that's all been proven through a lot of the different types of, you know, clinical studies that they've shown to actually
we
increase
missed out
that.
on some of that stuff with powerlifting, you know, because we're waiting for a body to be ready to do the next set. We're lifting so damn heavy all the time.
Exactly. So that's why it's almost kind of like power building meets high volume training, and then that's what FST7 is about. And that's why we want to do that, because that'll help you with that three-dimensionality while having density.
I heard Branch Warren before, they're like, to use high rep or high intensity. He's like, yeah.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, I do.
Yeah, exactly. And that's basically kind of what we're doing, but we're doing it with more
15
structure.
reps is heavy as possible.
Yeah. Good. 2 more up top. 1, 2. Good. Open. Squeeze. Good. There you go. Good. Open those hands. 2. 1 more down. 1 more.
Lower one's hard.
You're not used to it. Keep going. 2 more. Good. Midpoint. 2. 1, 2. Up top. 1, 2. And that's a ladder. So, and then for your next exercise, because you're doing so many reps, now you go, okay, wait a minute. I basically went to failure at 20 reps or went to fatigue. Right? Didn't even really go to failure. That's how you assess how to go up in weight. Now you turn around and say, okay, that felt good, but I could have done more reps. So now let's bump the weight. So take a couple minutes rest, bump the weight. And that's how you do it. If you're using FST7, you go about 12 to 15 reps and you do the same thing, but the only difference would be 30 to 45 seconds of rest. And then you basically, and then the other thing is, if you feel like you're not getting a pump or whatnot, you want to make sure you're sipping water, because the hydration levels have a lot to do with pump. So you want to make sure that it's getting hot. Exactly, especially out here, because you're about 20 degrees hotter out here than I am in the Bay. Yeah. So you need to make sure you're constantly doing, and then if you're doing a lot of stimulants or like caffeine or any energy drinks, then obviously you're going to dehydrate faster. So you got to stay on top of your hydration. Good. See, now you're working a bunch of muscles that you're not used to working. That's why this feels like 150 pounds and not 15. Good. Squeeze. You feel that?
Yep. Feels like 1,000,000 pounds.
Yeah. 2 more. 1 more. Come closer together. Perfect. Good job. Whew, good. Smoke it. Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to build your overall delt. We want to look like basically you took a cannonball, cut it in half, and we glued it onto the side of your shoulder. I like having my athletes sip on an intra workout. Yeah. So usually it consists of a glutamine BCAA complex, sometimes even with a little bit of nitric oxide precursors like arginine or nitrosogene, citrulline. Those things to help continue to keep the pump going, because I'm all about pump and blood flow, right. And that's really promoting that. So it's really important that you continue that going. So sipping on that will help the water with the hydration, but also you have electrolytes that you want to be able to use too. So utilizing something like that can make a big difference. I can give you some of my stuff, and then you can use that all intra workout. So CellCam AminoJect, it's really good because that's what helps continue to keep the blood flowing, and also so that you don't end up losing any of that muscle volume during your workout. And basically what I'm doing is I'm touching your lats because I want you to get the better mind-muscle connection, so it takes the emphasis off of your arms. Good. Good. Yep, great arch. Arch your back, that's it. And then you're gonna feel those lower lats fire and your inner back fire. Good. Good, 4 more. Pause, hold it, good. Squeeze. Squeeze, 2 more. Squeeze, arch.
It counts like I do.
1 more. Hold it. We're using exercises that use a lot of finesse. A lot of people will go heavy and they'll use their arms. Right. What you want to do is you want, especially in the beginning, to go a little bit lighter, feel it, and then work your way up. And then when your form starts to fall apart, then you're going too heavy. Yep. Mm-hmm. And keep them that way. Good. Chest up. Chest up towards me. Head up. Good. There you go. Good.
Elbows forward. Down. Move you farther forward. Like that. There you go. Good.
So you feel the shaking?
Yep.
Yep. That's because you're firing muscles that your body's not used to firing. So this is connecting in that mind-muscle connection that we keep talking about that hasn't happened yet, or hasn't happened in a long time since you probably torn your biceps.
Yep.
Did you share both of them at the same time or no? Separate?
Separate.
How long ago?
A few years ago.
Okay. Keep going. There you go. Good. Control the negative. There you go. Good. So again, if you keep the proper form, you're not going to go through it, because one thing that you'll notice, and what you should do is also maybe even take your phone and have your workout partner video you, is you need to make sure you're going a little bit slower, because you're going at a faster pace because you're used to getting the weight from point A to point B with explosion. That's what the difference between bodybuilding is. It doesn't matter what you use, it's what the mind puts on the muscle in terms of the constant tension. And what we want time under tension with bodybuilding. With powerlifting, you're trying to move the weight.
You're trying to get away from it as quick as we can.
Exactly. So you're doing the opposite, right? So it's just a matter of getting it, from point A to point B as quickly as you can,
right,
so that you're done with your lift. With this, you want to actually accentuate the time under tension. So pausing, doing partials at the end of the set, where you do 4 to 5, partials from the bottom.
Yeah.
Those things are the things that are going to help with that muscle growth, and you're going to be able to get a lot thicker, a lot fuller with that. We're going to add another component. Okay. Time under tension means flexing your biceps now.
Okay.
Now just turn your wrists and flex them. Bring them up here. Hold it. Hold it. Flex. Flex them hard. Flex them. Good. Good. There you go. Good. 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 Relax. One more like that. Good. Good. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. All the way down. Good job. Now just go ahead and flex them now by yourself. There you go. Now I can feel
flex them better.
Now you can flex it.
Yeah.
Because before I was trying to feel your bicep, they weren't even tight.
Yeah.
Now I can actually, you can feel them flexing.
Right. I haven't been able to flex my biceps in years, so that feels really weird actually.
Yeah, because you've activated muscle that you didn't know you even had anymore.
Yeah.
They're there, but the mind muscle wasn't there. So what we did is we recreated that pathway again.
Yeah. It's been kind of frustrating because I've been trying to train them, but I can't really get the stimulus that I'm looking for.
So what you got to do now is be able to do what we just did, recreate it, and do that twice a week. So that way, by the time the soreness kind of
not 3 or 4 times a week.
No.
Oh, wait, how many times arm?
Twice a week. 20
times a week.
Yeah.
20 times.
Yeah. Every day is arm day.
That's right.
Wait, no, that's Bradley. Yeah. So now all of a sudden you see the pump. So everything is becoming 3-dimensional on you right now because you're getting that. I mean, literally, I was touching your biceps and it was just mushy.
Yeah.
Mushy. And even during the sets, it was mushy. But now that what we did was we got better mind-muscle connection, and now you're able to flex them. Again, you got a double bicep chart. Big thing to get past.
Double bicep challenge.
Yeah.
Cool, thank you.
Now you can turn around and measure them. We're going to measure them, and then you'll be like, oh shit, let's see what
in
we're
my
doing.
office, I got a tape measure.
Yeah, so now you can measure them up.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. That was so cool. A lot of fun, man. Learning lots of new shit. Feeling good. A champion's workout doesn't start until pain settles in. Everything else is just a warm-up. Everything else is what everybody else can handle. Everything else is what the average person can endure. But you're made of something different. You want a different result. You want to be better every day. It's not enough to be good. There's plenty of people that are good at shit. It's about being great and being the best you can possibly be. The only way to do it is to beat the fucking shit out of yourself every single day. day in and day out, having more consistency than anybody else. Step by step, ferociously. Gradum ferociter.